Welcome to the IBM Podcast Network.
All right, please note that the language and ideas presented on the show might not be suitable for everyone. If you're under 18, make sure your mom isn't around. If you're over 80, why is your mom around?
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
All right, on Cyrus Says, the special Cock and Bull edition. And we talk about, of course, the Om Puri demise, one of our leading actors. Demonetization woes continue. And yes, Dhoni is no longer the skipper, which means he's available for private parties at a special price.
Why follow your auntie's advice when you can follow Cyrus Says on Facebook and Twitter to stay updated about the latest shows?
Okay, we're well into January, and I want to just mention this out aloud on Cyrus Says, a big rouse about this. Stop wishing people Happy New Year. A, there's nothing happy. B, the bloody New Year's a matter of 5 or 10 minutes on 31st night to first morning. It ends then. All right, let's move on to the next big festival and just end with this Happy New Year greeting. I hate the idea of being greeted, and I don't want to be greeted ever again till 2018. And forget the happy, just say New Year. How do you know for sure it's going to be happy? Cyrus Says.
And that's what Cyrus says.
Okay, Cock and Bull. We record. I have no idea when you listen. I don't care when you listen, honestly, because on our kind of show, it's all about time stopping. Time stands still. Which is a lot like my organs right now. 45th year. Does it ever get better? I need to hang out with older people and then relatively I'll feel better.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I want to hang out with people whose backs are destroyed completely at this point in time, because then I feel like, okay, I'm not that bad.
So you'll be holding your back but helping the other guy.
Exactly. That's what I want.
That's what the beauty of the whole
Why?
thing is.
No, younger people.
What do you know? You're so young.
We're positive and happy and
have you felt any ache?
I have.
Except heartache, which I don't want to hear, for God's sake.
No, I had a slight headache this morning, and I think it was...
That's called menstruation.
No,
we all go through that. Men after 40. Come on.
No, I realized I was slightly dehydrated, so I just had some water.
Slightly dehydrated? Fine. The man has a back problem. Just let him stand up. My liver is failing me as we speak. And all you can come up with is, I was slightly dehydrated, 1 glass of water less last night.
How is your liver feeling?
I don't know. I've taken a thing called Live Care now, which costs a lot of money. But the thing is, it doesn't hit you. Like, it helps after about an hour or two.
Okay.
So I wish I could get something which gives me the liver capacity booster
What happened
immediately.
to your liver?
I don't know, I take a lot of chemicals in my, for some reason. Then I take these other chemicals to stop those chemicals. It's a bit like people with a hair problem. You know, I've seen my products in my mother's bathroom, which I use, not with her at the same time, but, separately. Just to clarify. They're always the weirdos out there. And I counted 9 products. Shampoo products and other things, conditioners and moisturizers, and 9. And I was just thinking, there's not that much hair left. I mean, really do we need to invest in so much? No disrespect, Mom, love you. But Cyrus Saukar, who was a VJ I used to work with, a tall young man from Delhi with body odor, he, in his bathroom, and I've only been there once by mistake because I had to urinate, had about 25 products.
25?
What's with hair products, man?
Wrong person to ask.
Sorry, Amit is bald for those
I'm so sorry
person to
about
ask. I have one bar of soap in my bathroom, and that's pretty much it. I don't have anything else.
1 bar of soap.
Wow.
Do you have water at least? And
water and shower and all the rest of that.
Toothbrush.
Oh yeah, but that's different, right? That's not the shower.
Okay, enough warm up, enough foreplay. Let's get on with it, man. We're intelligent people having intelligent conversation and discussing our bathroom lives, which will take hours anyway.
That could be a whole show.
Let's start. Story number 1, a repulsive story for me as we start the so-called new year for the bloody umpteenth time, is Bengaluru. And 2-3 things here. One, obviously the molesting, ridiculous. But the second and most funny thing is the authorities sort of almost playing, not the blame game, but absolutely looking at the women as the people who caused all the trouble.
Exactly.
Which is just I think that's the best piece of
but that's just, the
legal advice you can give someone in this situation. Blame the woman.
No, but it's awful. It's what is so... And the weird thing is, I have had, this was some years ago, some of my friends had been through something similar on Brigade Road and MG Road. Hordes and hordes of people coming out for New Year. And three of my female friends and 3 of my guy friends, they were all in school
one in-between
together.
friend. And everybody was... Yeah.
No, but what had happened was the guys sort of created like a circle around the girls because these guys were just
and this is Bengaluru, which used to be called Bangalore in the glory days, the most cosmopolitan city of India.
But Bangalore is terrible. Most women I know are petrified.
Downward spiral has been now. When your incident was what, 10 years ago, 5 years ago?
No, it must have been about 7 6-7 years.
Yeah, so in the last 7-8 years, Amit, it's just changed.
But I don't know. I think this is just it's so Indian culture in some ways, right? I mean, like especially. There is a definite lack of just general awareness about how one is supposed to behave in public, right? And a big part of this problem...
Mob mentality? They're behaving like this because many men?
So I think, a lot of this has to do with our way... Like, I'm one of those people who hates blaming the movies for stuff, but in this case, I feel like this behavior is encouraged by movies.
Yeah.
This whole, persistent love or, persistent effort to try and get a girl to like you beyond, any kind of reasonable... you ask somebody, they say no, you move on, right? But in this case, what keeps...
There was a famous psychiatrist who died while masturbating, whose name I forget, and he mentioned SF. Social frustration. In third world countries or countries where the populations are kept slightly conservative and apart, the genders rather, you have this issue of social frustration. I've seen that when I went to college for the first time. In an upmarket college like St. Xavier's in Mumbai, many of the boys come from all boys schools and they're very uncomfortable around girls. So from there the social frustration starts and they don't know how to handle it. As in, they want the girl because of hormonal imbalances and all that, but they don't know how to approach the process. That process is a problem in India. You see that across the classes. But when it comes to the other gender, you do not know how to behave in front of the other gender, and you display some sort of primal urges and all in a very savage manner, and that seems to happen now. Not just we thought Haryana, we thought Bihar, and no disrespect to the various states.
It's happening in Bombay 5-7 years ago, didn't it? I mean, something like this happened at Jew outside the Marriott.
Mills rape, we were Jew. I mean, let's not get into it. There's there are millions.
Yeah, no, this stuff just keeps happening, and I mean, I hate.
So what about social frustration?
What really irritates me is that why, now you have to cover up, you have to wear dupatta, you have to do this. Why everything has to go down? Or you, as women, you should cover yourselves up.
The authority saying things like the molestation didn't happen.
You should not be out late. You should not be drinking. You should. Why? Why, as a woman, do I have to restrict myself?
It's absolute
for
rubbish.
Everything.
Nonsense.
It's ridiculous.
I think you should be allowed to wear a wristband and walk down the road. It's not anybody else's problem. It's rubbish. Absolute rubbish. And they betray their conservatism and their chauvinism and their medieval mindset when they talk like that. And these are people in authority. People in authority, in positions of authority.
Exactly. And they try and, or rather not try, but... It is from there.
It's also defense. It's a defensive posturing because the media is in your face, and you're suddenly asked as a policeman, sorry to interrupt, or a legal, a member of parliament, or a person who's in the cabinet, or even a chief minister. You're suddenly getting bajawed by everybody left, right, and center. So your defensive posturing is to find all kinds of. I don't think you think it through clearly. And one of the things to do is blame the woman.
But I do think they think about this. I think this is the mindset. I think this is their. I think this is 100% their mindset.
You peel the skin, and this is the real layer.
This is the mindset that is there, right? That I mean, women are supposed to be at home. The fact that these women are going out and having fun in a...
On 31st night!
No, but they're not supposed to be doing that without their husbands or their fathers. I mean, that's the mindset.
And those wonderful men on the bikes who grabbed the woman and molested her and pinched and punched her, those beautiful humanitarians, what about them? Their parents should be very proud. See our boys, see how he gets off the bike and bullies that girl, rapes her, punches her, molests her. I think, what about that?
No, it's just such a failure of the way people are taught to socialize, right? I mean, you just don't know how to.
Okay, let's divert for a second here, segue a bit here. What about the bystanders? Why doesn't anybody come forward?
Which is the most bizarre
Why doesn't
thing.
Anybody come forward?
How can you let this happen right in front of you? And to sit back and to think, in my head,
it wasn't a dim alley. When we talk about the motorbike incident, it was not a dim alley. If you look at that video again, you can see people in the foreground. Okay, we're just a few meters away. She's screaming, for God's sake. You can see what's happening.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
I see. To say that it's New Year's and this is bound to happen is bullshit.
Yeah.
Utter bullshit. To blame a woman, you know what? I cannot believe you. I always think that I've had freedom in this country to a certain extent, but then it is so scary. I've had so many.
We should lock up all the men for 3 days. Except me and Amit. All because my suggestions
I tell you, in Bangalore, when I've been out, it's not like I've never partied in Bangalore before.
Bangalore's a beautiful city. This is not Bangalore.
I have even Bangalore, even Chennai. I've had, and compared to Bombay, I'll tell you a huge difference. Chennai and Bangalore, every guy I've ever partied with has always, no matter which part of the city I live in, drop me home. If you live in freaking Yelahanka or something and you want to drop me at MG Road, they'll drop me. The thing is, same in Chennai. Bombay, if I had to get dropped to Andheri from Kolaba, they're like, listen, I'll put you in a cab. And
Call me
when you get home.
I'm very concerned.
Bombay?
Totally hoga, though, tell me in 40 minutes I'll be able to reach you once they've killed you. Yeah. No, but
Bangalore, Chennai, I'm telling you.
May I say I'm a little old-fashioned. When I was growing up, this is the 90s, mind you. I also dropped every girl home and I walked them up to their room. Sorry, that sounded bad. Up to their house. And so they would say, yeah, boss, don't come, you don't need. But then the parents were very happy when you came and, rang the bell, stood at the back and just let the lady go in.
I think that was that time, right? I mean, like, same here. Like, in the 90s, you always had to...
This is one thing we need to do. We can't... Unfortunately, we need to do this from just a practical point of view for now. But secondly, I'm really worried with the internet explosion. Men have a wrong idea of women with porn and all that's available. And, they don't understand. It's how do you get into the mind of a person to explain to them that everybody is a human being and there's a certain lack of respect that you cannot give people.
It's cultural, man, and it's cultural and it needs to change at like a very deep level, and without that
Should we castrate 1 out of 2 men as a possible solution? If we castrate 50%
there's
of
4
our
men in here right now.
Well, listen to me. 50% of the men get castrated. We're down with 50% only. Also, the market then for the 50% doubles. As in, there are all the women left, but we have only 50% now to fight with. Over. So I'm thinking mathematically this is a great solution.
Okay.
Of course, this may affect some of the
people.
Sanjay Gandhi tried something like that. I don't know if it worked out.
You know what? Those 2 guys on that bike. I want... what was going on in your head? What did you want? What did you expect? You have these moments where you just want to...
And why weren't you wearing helmets? But that's a smaller issue. You
want to ask them what was going on in your head at that point. Why did you think that this was going to be effective in any way?
I don't want to hide behind this, but I'm more irritated with the authorities. Okay, I'm thinking the louds are there. I can't do anything about them. But once you're in a position of authority, say the right thing. And do the right thing. Yeah. Find those boys, catch them in the scruff of their neck, and put them in the sand.
They did get caught. They got caught.
No, they got caught eventually, but and they would have got caught with all the widestream media that we have. But you, as a figure of authority, both ministers I'm talking about and policemen, I'm not naming them by name, but I know their names, and everybody knows their names who's followed the case. This is no way to talk. You're just betraying your, as you said, you peel the skin, and this is what comes out of medieval mindset. How chauvinistic are we?
Then, if these are men of authority, it puts every other man to shame. It is ridiculous because. If at the top this is what our politicians and our policemen think that women should be doing all the time.
End of the day, it's cliche, but at the end of the day, that girl is somebody's daughter, sister, or mother, or whatever.
No, but that's
and remember,
my point.
If it's yours, then how the whole thing will change. If it's that policeman's sister or daughter, everything will change. His gun will be out. Okay, so this is the sad part.
For me, if this happens to me, that's the whole thing is now they want women to report all these issues. Why would I report this to someone like you?
And they're coming on news channels and defending themselves. Why would they have to defend themselves? You've been molested by some absolute moron. Well, you don't have to defend yourself.
How can you disbelieve what I'm trying to say? Already it's difficult for me to tell you what has just happened to me. On top of that, you think it's my fault.
By the way, once while we were in the Shahs at the Cricket Club of India, Amit had fondled me in a way which I've not been very comfortable with, and I'd like to put it on record.
Everyone fondles you in a way that you're not comfortable with.
That was 1997, we were in our teens, but his whole thing, I couldn't find the soap, I'm not buying it. I went back later and I found there were 5 soap dishes, and all had 2 soaps in it. So I don't know what he was talking about. We're making light of the situation. Let's not do that. But let's segue out of this. I'm very cynical. 2017, nothing has changed. Demonetization is still around. Chauvinistic men are still around.
Yes.
India cricket politics is carrying on with the BCCI and the courts. I mean, for me, if I look around in the newspaper, nothing has changed at all, honestly. Except Dangal. Finally, women can wrestle. So that's one for chauvinism.
Well, is it?
Yeah, well, maybe not.
I mean, like,
Amir Khan makes the money.
No, not just that. I mean, like, the movie itself is actually. So I haven't seen it yet, right? I mean, like, I'm going to see it on Sunday.
Always not see a
movie before you talk about it.
Yeah,
right?
It's always better. I feel.
But I've read some stuff about, like, the way that the movie is presented and stuff like that. And Amir Khan is a pretty abusive father in that movie, isn't he?
Yeah, but see, they've married the Forgot family, this famous Haryanvi family and all that. But they've married a little bit of fact, a little bit of fiction. But I'm thinking, what they've tried to show is provoking the women into wrestling.
Yeah.
Maybe that sort of happened in the sense that, you're from a wrestling family, people call you names or whatever, and then you decide to, take it further. So I'm okay with that. See, it's a dramatization.
It's a dramatization. Yeah, at the end of it, you're right. It is a dramatization. So it's
what
not
happened
like
with the law in Bangalore? That's the question we should be asking ourselves. Let's move away.
All right.
Okay, so Dangal, good for what it's worth. The protagonist female protagonist, something small, but something.
Yeah,
good
it's supposed to be a really fun movie to watch. I mean, like I'm looking forward to it. I'm seeing it
I think
this
it's
Sunday.
good that in India, film. I know Amir Khan is the hero and all that, but at the end of the day, two unknown women are carrying this film, and in a sense, that's a blow to chauvinism for me. It's symbolic, it's small, it's a metaphor if you
By
like.
the way,
But
I was having this conversation with film journalist Indu Mirani, who's doing a show with us, and she was talking about how in the last year that there are more women
oriented roles,
protagonists.
Look back at the
films,
70s and 80s, it was very, very few. Then in the 90s, we had this item number wave where, it was like women, sex. That they were actually thinking like that. So men, movie. Women will do the sex part. I really think they were actually thinking like that.
That was
Johnny
exactly
Lever, comedy track. Malaika will do the dancing. And get the men to come and watch.
Yeah, I remember.
They were thinking like that.
Exactly like that.
So people made films in a mathematical, graphic way where they would divide the film to 5 bits.
But what you're saying is actually a very, very real point, right? And this is the stuff that changes the culture, right? I mean, like when movies like Dangal come out, when movies like Ninja come out, and do well. Yeah, these are the things that do change the culture, right? These are the things which make
champion women.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And in a sense, Dostana also. The 2 men.
Okay.
2 men can have a baby, and why not? Why not? I say. All right, enough Dangal. Let's move on to topic number 3, which is
what should we talk about? We could get into. Do you want to talk about demonetization?
Yeah.
What do you think? 50 days.
By the
in?
way, today I went to go get some cash. 2 ATMs out of order. This is super annoying.
And this is Mumbai where we record.
I know.
Again, Mumbai, apex city of India, or one of the 3 apex-sized cities of India. Always think of sea towns. What is happening in Jabalpur as we speak? It's a lovely place, but if they don't have ATMs in Mumbai that are functioning, I don't know. I'm worried
what's
for
going to
Jabalpur.
happen over there.
I really
I
am.
have no idea how anything is working anywhere else.
But give it to them. ATM means anytime money. So anytime money means if you find it anytime, you're lucky. Let's not be completely off the hook.
No, and I mean, so also, from just the perspective of what they wanted to do, right? I mean, like get all this black money declared and stuff like that. From what came out, so Bloomberg had a report a couple of days ago which said that 97% of the money has already been exchanged. So if 97%...
Before the process actually took flight?
Now. Since by December 30th, 97% of all cash has already...
The players have cleaned their money properly.
All the money has come into them. So then what happened? So then what was the point of it? It's not like we heard about like big money being generated from any kind of black this or this.
We heard, but all the stories were in the air, never went anywhere.
But they were all the stories that came out were stories having to do with the fact that these 2,000 rupee notes, the bank managers have been busted for basically putting this to so that's what's happened.
Which is human nature. They'll take advantage of the situation. I want to ask you about Salman Khan's lovely venture and good of him to do it for our toilets, our public toilets, our Shulab Shauchalyas.
Okay.
Where he went and said encouraged people to not openly defecate. Sorry to use the word. And it's a huge success. So people are actually using these toilets and not doing it in the open. But here's the problem. You got to pay $4 to $5 to use the toilet. If you have a 2,000 rupee note,
pay whatever you want.
2,000 rupee note, what do you do?
Well, then
you change, you're going to keep crapping.
No, that's problematic.
I'll crap in EMIs and by 19th of March, you'll be even. He's back. Number 55. Do they give you water to clean as well? How does it work? I've never used one.
So I've used one.
You closely defecated.
No. I've used the, what do you call it? I haven't defecated. I've gone to pee.
Everybody's peed there, man. Have you defecated?
But there's water over there. It's not like it's clean and there's water and
how do you clean your what?
They have like
somebody turns up?
No, they have water.
A friend? You bring an acquaintance?
I would rather not.
Somebody owes you money thanks to demonetization. Clean my ass. Unbelievable. There's going to be lots of fun growing up in this country, the next generation.
Yeah.
But having said that, you are saying they've caught no one.
I don't think they have. I mean, like all the people they've caught for distributing 2,000 rupee notes. They've not caught anybody with this 500,000 because there was never nobody.
We have a list of names. We're waiting for the Swiss bank names to roll in. They haven't rolled in yet.
That's...
maybe it's in German or Italian. And
that's not going to happen, right? I mean, like Swiss bank or Swiss authorities have signed a treaty for stuff.
That was supposed to come out in the first 3 months of the new government.
But the new government is... what? You just think Switzerland's just going to give up
all your money is safe then?
I have money in Swiss banks, man. Seriously, that would be nice.
The moment you answer it in a rhetoric way, we know you're telling the unlie. All right. So that's Jan, whatever week we're in, and the demonetization continues, good or bad. Topic number 6.
Should
we take a quick break?
Let's take a break. Let's take a break.
We need to, rewind here a bit and just catch up with the news because we have no idea what's happening. Living in our ivory tower world where pizza comes into our lovely studio and we eat it. And don't worry about the poor. Indian version of Maria Antoinette. Give them pizza, not bread. That's what I say. We'll take a break. We'll come back.
It was rated Goregaon's most intelligent podcast. It was the best new podcast of the day when it was launched. And now, the irreverent brand of attempted humor and botched education is coming your way. You have many burning questions.
So what is the Brexit? What do mathematicians do, man? I mean...
Introducing Simplified, a weekly podcast that deconstructs issues around you, such as, what on earth is Bitcoin?
So Bitcoin is just another currency like the rupee or dollar. The difference here is it's a virtual currency.
Do resolutions in cameras really matter?
They think that just because a number is higher, what they're getting is actually more.
And encryption.
So encryption, okay, is a process of encoding messages in such a fashion that only the intended recipient sees it in its intended format.
Hosted by Narendra Shanoy, a very wise man who can't stop making B.G. Woodhouse references. And Deepak Gopalakrishnan, who calls himself Chuck, a madman who can't stop making poor jokes.
Naren, what do you call a forest where you find all the latest news?
I don't have a good feeling about
A topical rainforest.
Follow Chuck and Naren as they scour Google and read Wikipedia for you and condense it into language you can understand. Simplified, helping you appear smarter to an audience that knows no different.
And back here on Cyrus Says with my two friends. The show's called Cock and Bull, by the way. Forgot to mention
that's
that.
right.
Who's the cock and who's the bull?
Cock meaning the rooster. I'll be the bull just for safety. legal implications and all that. I'll just leave the bull. So you guys fight over the cock, to use the phrase. And moving
Okay,
on.
let's move forward.
Mahendra Singh Dhoni talks in one monosyllable, but wonderful cricketer.
Yeah.
I think this whole idea of giving up the captaincy is a pretty smart and shrewd move.
I like it, actually.
I'm really...
No, I think it allows him to have a little longer career.
Right.
Because-
Not just that.
But it gives
makes-
Virat Kohli some time to actually... Because he's clearly
acclimate,
going
yeah.
to be the captain, right?
Virat Kohli is already the captain in the other
For the
forms.
test, yeah. But what about... I think the Champions Trophy and the World Cup will be coming up
Correct.
next, right?
No, and Dhoni's the wicketkeeper, right? So, I mean, like, the wicketkeeper, generally speaking, is kind of an on-field semi-captain anyways, right?
That he is. But I'm saying by doing that, he's accepted that this is the end of his career. He accepted the season will probably be his last.
Right.
But I think he'll go out on his own terms now.
No, but I think he wants to
in case
play...
they lost,
I think he
with him
wants
as
to play
captain.
for the 2019 World Cup.
Yeah, that's
but-
not going to happen, Amit Doshi.
You
That's
don't think
very
so?
unlikely.
Do we have better wicketkeeper prospects who are coming up?
See, at his peak as a batsman, wicketkeeper, probably not. But you know,
Dhoni-
I mean, Mr. Patel has done not too badly in the test.
Okay.
And he's a better batsman than he's a keeper at the moment. But, you know, he's there. There's lots of young people coming up. Rishabh Pant.
Okay.
You've got a few other options here and there. So I don't think that's the issue. But I think the issue is that he can prolong his life and have a little dignity.
Yeah.
Also, keep in mind, in Indian sport, you have to stay in the national colours to earn your money. Okay, so and rightly so. Why I don't see that as a problem. You try to prolong your career so you can make as much money as you can. So I think if he stayed captain and they lost the England series and they said step down, he'd have to step down from everything as player, captain.
And that's kind of-
they wouldn't demote him.
So
this is a
Virat
smart
Kohli
move.
is definitely going to become captain even for ODI and
Virat Kohli at the moment or Anushka Sharma, they haven't decided. One of the two because you want them together.
total
whatever happens.
sense.
So yeah,
I know.
maybe for the shorter version,
I
Anushka
gotta say,
Sharma.
Kohli, for
Mr.
being
Kohli, show some
Mr.
respect.
Mr.
You can't just say
Kohli.
Kohli. Would you say Bachchan? No, you say Mr. Bachchan.
Mr.
And what about Abhishek?
Mr. Kohli?
Yeah.
No one calls him
Go on,
Mr.
go on.
Bachchan. The thing is, I'm really impressed that, to be a captain and also still excel at being such a great batsman.
That's right.
Like, regardless of either.
If you were to rate Bill Ponsford versus Arthur Morris, who would you rate and why?
I don't know.
I just wanted to be a bully.
You're mean.
I'm a sexist.
He is.
Chauvinistic.
That's not sexist.
Non-Bangalore man.
That's not sexist. I don't even know who either of those guys are. I don't think
That's not.
sexism
You're
applies.
just playing on my ignorance.
I call
That's
my
mean.
Yeah. Unnecessary, really. But it's sexist.
Necessary.
Okay, coming back to the whole thing, Virat Kohli's generation, this is going to be.
Right.
That's pretty
Totally.
clear. He will be in all three forms captain
Yeah.
sooner or later.
Yeah.
And I think Dhoni has just... I like Dhoni. I've always, not just because he likes dogs, which is very important for me, but also because I think he's always carried himself well on the field and off the field. Yeah. He's been pretty straight up. The ironic thing about our Indian press, when we had other captains like say Azhar, they were like they don't talk enough. They don't, we can't get enough out of them. And then when you have someone like a Dhoni, you say, oh God, he's too open, he's too frank, whatever. I mean, make up your mind, What do you want? And with the kind of pressure
it's
of
clear
being an
what
Indian
they want,
captain,
right? It's clear what they want. They
just
want to complain.
Yeah, they just want to complain and find a fault in you. They sound like my mother-in-law. Indian press is my mother-in-law. That's what it is. Yeah.
I knew it.
No, but I give him a thumbs up.
Yeah, no,
I'm really impressed. It takes a lot to be able to step down from a position like that.
Yeah, and he's been captain forever. He's been captain since 1947 when England left.
Shut up.
Something like that.
I'm gonna slap you.
And then Scotland came back.
Mean to me.
No, but I mean, he's done well as captain. I think somebody sent me in a graphic
He's
that
probably
he's actually the
most successful captain in all three formats. And his batting didn't really suffer. And he's had a good...
he's won everything, right?
He's part of this rising India...
We won the one day... excuse me, won the World Cup. One day we won the T20
World Cup. World Cup.
Yeah, so I mean...
he won a Kuch Bihar trophy by mistake and won Jharkhand trophy as well for best forest department guy.
Okay.
So lots of things that nobody talks about. He's done
Yeah,
good.
no, he's been really good. And I like the way that they're doing this, right? I like this transition thing where he's still around.
Yeah, here's the irony. The transition thing in the team is great and the team is looking good and disciplined. But what about the BCCI?
Oh, that's
somebody's put a little pressure on the big old BCCI.
They are.
What I absolutely love, and we use the word love too much today, is that people over 70 cannot now function in the BCCI.
Oh, that's awesome.
This should be true of everything in India.
Yeah, mandatory retirement at some point.
Indians never give it up.
I would love to see a mandatory retirement for political figures.
You're telling me I won't name them, but there are about 2 already over 90 still batting. There are 4 that I can think of right now over 80 still batting.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're in high positions.
No, and it basically, this is something that just drives me nuts, right? When you call like 50, 60-year-old people young leaders.
Can you believe it?
It's just
the next generation. 63-year-old. Tagdar Sharma will be the next face of our party.
Crazy,
He's 64
right?
tomorrow.
Barack Obama is retiring.
Under
He's
50,
going to be 51, right?
Oops.
When he retires.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell, man?
Yeah, really. Not to mention what they look like. You're the face of the nation.
Yeah.
You won't be the face of the nation in 94.
But isn't this bizarre that we, the majority of our population is between the age of 15 and 35, and all our political representation.
There's some cheating there. Some of the film stars, the females, have lied about their age. I've interviewed them and they've lied. All right, and then we check the school records and the dental records, and some of them are my mother's batch, and they're still hearing. So that's all lies. So be careful. Careful what you say. All right, let's move on to our next topic, which is...
let's talk about this NBA thing, right? Which I thought was very funny.
Our audience is all about the NBA. And me and May, we live and die for basketball.
I know.
Or as the Punjabis call it, basketball.
Basketball.
Okay. So, I played in 9th standard.
Are you kidding? What's a layup?
A layup?
Yeah.
It's when you take the 3 steps before you.
Yeah.
What?
What's a layup?
I just told you.
3 steps?
Yeah, you take 3 steps and you shoot without bouncing the ball.
Within a couple of feet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, how far can you walk?
Well, no, you can. There's a jump shot which you can take 3 bounces and jump. Right?
Is this the topic of discussion?
You can't bounce the ball.
Technical shots in NBA.
When you take a layup,
can we do this for another show?
Yeah,
a whole NBA show. We'll get them to produce it as well. Yeah. Kobe Bryant presents NBA. Yeah. No, sorry, but you have startling information.
So it was just a funny story which I thought was kind of interesting, and I thought we could talk about a little bit. So there's a new rookie player called Joel Embiid who plays for the Philadelphia 76ers, and he's turned out to be a really good rookie player.
In terms of ability on court.
In terms of ability on court.
Now off court.
Now off court, what he did was he gave an interview saying that he wants to go out with a celebrity crush who told him that she'll only go out with him if he's an all-star. So he put that on, and
who's the celebrity crush?
So apparently it's Rihanna.
Oh,
so what's the final result?
So he is right now 4th in the NBA All-Star voting.
Really?
So if he gets to number 1, she'd be like, yeah, you got it.
He needs to be one of 3. He needs to be number 3.
No, 1 second. The 1, 2, and 3 are super iconic names.
So it's LeBron James, it's Kevin Love.
Even I know.
And it's, who's the third one?
Stephen Curry.
No, it's the Greek freak from Milwaukee. I can't remember.
He's Greek freak from Milwaukee, you racist bastard.
No, he's got a
Indian fucker.
No, he's got he's got a crazy name. His last name is something like Giannis Kumpa or something like that.
Oh, God.
So it's a really crazy
name. It's longer
than
the Greek economy.
It's a really crazy name. So those are the first 3, and he's number 4.
So he toppled the apple cart here?
It's he's not that far from Kevin Love, who's in third.
So it's all more people are just writing on the fact that he's a loser or not loser. The underdog.
They want him to get that date.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Backing the underdog. I'm all for it.
He's actually also like the king of social media when it comes to like NBA stuff. He does like all kinds of crazy stuff. He
Okay, sorry, yeah, go on.
So he had a post recently about when Donald Trump won, right? I mean, like, everybody's welcome to Africa. And so he just does stuff like that. He's just like one of the big social media. He knows how to work social media, right? So, and he's
got the pulse of the people, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. So he's pushed that kind of thing to a great extent. But I mean, like, I think it's just really funny.
So what if we transfer it to India? Who are the Indian, say, cricketers? So our basketballers, unfortunately, not really that big yet. Which Indian cricketers would you recommend for a Rihanna date? Who would be the top 3? Come on, your time starts now.
That's a tough question.
Wow, really?
See, I think for Rihanna, you've got to be a little westernized. So it'll be Ravindra Ashwin would definitely be one of mine.
Okay.
Because, he's one of those well-educated, that kind of, engineering background, whatever. Then
I got no idea.
What about the new superstar?
Virat?
No, Nair.
Karun Nair is a bit of a baby, no?
Is he?
In age.
Even this kid's
He's a
19.
Bangalore boy, so you know what they say. Sorry. I take that back. I take that back.
Every Bangalore boy.
Take it back. Got it. Better be careful. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Who else?
I don't know. I have no idea.
No
clue.
What about
I
you,
can't
mate?
even think of
Okay, anybody
names.
in India. Forget cricketers. Who do you think we should
Anyone
go?
in
Who are the top
India.
3 candidates for Rihanna date?
For Rihanna to date?
Just stop repeating the question like a 12-year-old.
I'm in shock because I don't know.
You think Salman would make a good fit with Rihanna?
No.
Shah Rukh Khan?
No.
What about the younger lot? Varun Dhawan? Siddharth Malhotra?
No, those could be interesting names.
Maybe.
I guess.
Milind Soman?
I don't understand.
Give me somebody. Give me a name here. I'm dying. Give me a name.
For Rihanna?
If you don't decide, I go with Navjot Singh Sidhu and that's it.
I think that's the name.
That's
it.
perfect.
That's the one.
Spot on.
Sidhu wins again.
Sidhu wins again.
5 minutes with Sidhu. Rihanna stop singing. We've saved the world. It's all done.
Sidhu stops laughing. That would really save
Yes.
the
He
That
won't
would be
stop
amazing.
laughing.
Oh my god, that would be so
All right,
funny.
we've got time for 2 more topics quickly.
Sure. Let's. You remember? Did you see this thing about the Hollyweed sign?
I vaguely heard about it, but is it like a joke?
No. So what happened? So
Haven't
this
they
happened
legalized-
before.
they-
They
in
legalized.
California,
They legalized
right?
marijuana in California,
Like
and
November.
But there's a limit, huh? There's an amount.
well, there's always
It's medical
an amount.
marijuana and
No. It's recreational.
marijuana.
Recreational
Okay.
now. So,
Yeah.
but there's still a limit. I mean,
limit, right?
but the limit is
Like,
like
I
a
see a
ridiculous.
guy going home with huge sacks
No,
of
but
marijuana. Hi, mom. I'm back. Christmas.
The limit is pretty large, though. I mean, like it's recreational. It's like the alcohol limit now, right? I mean, like there's a technical limit, but nobody pays attention to it now.
But in India, it'll never work only because we'll never be able to pronounce this word.
Did you see the guy in
Marijuana
Hyderabad?
just doesn't work.
What?
Do you see about the guy in Hyderabad?
What is this?
What
There was
do?
a guy running a grow factory in Hyderabad in a 3-bedroom apartment.
What a good guy.
Yeah, no, and so he was importing seeds from Amsterdam and the
Importing
US.
through the aeroplanes?
Dude,
What about all that
is-
security
it's
that they
just
do?
mail, man. I mean, like through mail order, you can get seeds. Who tests for marijuana seeds in mail?
Right.
So he was
What
importing
do they look
seeds
like?
through that,
That's
and he was
insane.
growing stuff in like the in a flat.
So he's a Mali. I mean, if you look at it that way.
Essentially, but he was
Yeah.
making insane amounts of money doing it. I mean,
Yeah.
like ridiculous
And
amounts.
all export?
No, for the Indian market.
Oh, he's doing it for the brothers here.
For the
Excellent.
Indian market,
Excellent.
yeah.
So
I mean,
what's the end result? Is he in trouble?
he's in jail, or at least he got arrested.
You know
Okay.
what? There was a story when I was in
Does he get
when I was in the UK.
Does he get to smoke his stuff inside? Just to get through the time?
That would be
Telling.
So you know, when I was in
We'll find out.
college, there was this big story that came out of this like 87-year-old woman who was like going around old age homes in the UK
Okay.
and just plying marijuana.
Yeah.
And because it helps with glaucoma,
It helps with
pain
glaucoma.
relief,
It helps
yeah.
with it helps with muscle pain. It helps with all kinds of stuff.
And she got arrested. 87-year-old
Yeah.
auntie.
No,
Yeah,
it's-
what did they give her? Life? sorry. Okay.
No,
Time.
but-
Speaking
so,
of
but
life.
you know, it's kind of crazy why it's the why. So this in India, the status of marijuana is really weird, right? I mean,
Brother,
like,
let
it
me
makes
tell you
no
about
sense.
India.
Oh.
In Bihar, in Gujarat, you're not allowed to drink alcohol.
Right.
Marijuana's got a long way to go.
No, but there are government stores where you can get bhang, and bhang is marijuana.
If there's a religious touch to it, everything is possible.
so
You're right.
like, this is like such a weird
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
this, right? I mean, like
But
there's no
this-
logical sense to it. And again, the reason why marijuana became illegal in India in like the 50s or 60s. Before that, it was
By the
completely
way,
legal,
everyone
and it
currently
became
hates me
Huh?
because marijuana was made illegal on my birthday in India. And
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, so
It
one of
was
my
legal
friends
to
started
what?
like, I
Was it-
hate you.
We
And I'm
interrupted
like,
you. It was legal till which year?
sometime in the
19
50s or 60s. I mean,
Yeah.
like, it's relatively
What we've
recent.
got from this cock and bull story so far is that you know everything about the NBA and everything about marijuana. I want to tell you.
All right,
And
okay.
not much else. But these two subjects are your core competence and Amit will accept. I wonder if we do them together. Let's watch some basketball. Smoke up, boys!
I'm not going to say anything about that.
But you do watch basketball.
I do watch a lot of basketball.
We need to wind up.
I do watch.
So maybe
and we need to talk about. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no. So yeah, no, go ahead.
We need to talk about one of our greats, cinematic greats, Om Puri, who at the time of recording this or discussing this has just
passed away this morning.
Left the stage, as we say.
Yes.
Your thoughts, Amit?
Well, one of the greatest.
Before I
actors.
say something wrong.
No, he was one of the greatest actors we had. Right? I mean, like the whole. That quality cinema in the 80s, it was like a really big part of that
I like his
stuff,
crossover
right?
films, like that George thing. The title escapes me now.
The one where he's the father of the Coke.
The patriarch.
Yeah. That was a good movie. I remember that.
Yeah.
That was a really interesting one. I really liked. So I mean, like I think Ardha Satya was like one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Like one of the best Hindi movies I've ever seen.
One of the 4 decent films made in that generation. Yeah.
No, but he's a brilliant character actor.
No, he was
so
excellent.
good.
And don't forget the crossover. He was one of the first to actually do work outside
to
India.
do a lot of stuff there.
Yeah.
The thing is with him, when you look at an actor and you only believe the character that he is. Him, Nawazuddin Shah, Nawazuddin Siddiqui, there's just certain people that have that quality about them. That you watch them and you just believe.
But do you think Nawazuddin
Siddiqui
Siddiqui could play an NBA character? Because he's 5'4.5".
Probably not.
But there have been a couple of shorties.
What was that guy's name? Oh my God, I've met him.
Ike.
No,
Iverson.
No.
Ooh.
Oh, he's one of the shortest players.
Iverson.
Muggsy Bogues.
Muggsy.
So
he could be the Muggsy Bogues.
5'3".
He's 5'3". He could be the Muggsy Bogues.
Yeah. So
I met Muggsy. Muggsy.
Yeah, Muggsy's awesome.
This was our Om Puri tribute, by the way.
I'm
which
so
is
sorry.
Mugsy exaltation, and you're almost having an orgasm, and I'm scared because we started somewhere and we're ending somewhere else altogether. This is like
Muggsy Bogues was awesome, right? I mean, like he was one of my favorite players. He was part of my favorite all-time.
Now I've learned my lesson. Never begin any conversation
with
about NBA.
All right.
You change completely. You go from the cynical, angry man who hates the world and feels egalitarianism as a scapegoat.
I love Muggsy.
Every little detail about a 5'3" basketball player whose name I can't pronounce. I mean, what the hell?
He was amazing, man. 5'3", man. He was 5'3", and he was playing point guard in the NBA.
And the girls tell me everything was in proportion. So he was like quite popular. Because in the shower you could tell, I mean, he's the guy with the hand shower. Everybody else in the top shower. Top shower, the water wouldn't reach. You'd be like, oh, come on, hurry up, bro. Yeah. All right, before we say bye, we do have our questions, don't we?
Yes, we do.
So Mae will return in a second with the AMA, which is your name said slowly.
If you have any questions for Cyrus, write to us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Or you can send an email to whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
AMA with Mae, Mae, AMA. That's one verse. We'll do the same verse again. AMA with Mae, Mae, AMA.
Wow, I'm so confused.
You want some variety? AMA with Mae, say, Mae, AMA.
So Kushbu has a question for you. She says, how do you manage to have the same level of energy every time?
Yeah, I take Live 52, double strength. And like I said, it takes time to hit my liver, but it's very good. And it's not too expensive. It's $155. But I make my mother pay because I'm 45 and living at home with my parents. So why should I pay?
That makes
Let me do something. Gotta have too many relatives. I've just found out there's so many relatives.
There's
not been in touch. But
amount.
why do Indians have so many relatives? What's wrong? Because we're 1.2 billion.
No, and also, I mean,
What
like
about our Chinese cousins and our Pakistani cousins? There's some of us have cousins there. What about those?
You have cousins in China?
Not yet.
Okay.
We could
I'll have to find out.
Right.
Had one trip to Beijing. had one dim sum too many. Next thing you know,
Cousins popping out.
Cam Ling, I say. All right. So energy. We answered that.
I don't have much energy, so
You are playing. If he's like you poke the bear and his energy comes out, otherwise he's fine.
Poke the bear.
NBA. He's got some. With Amit, there's some points you just want to stay away from. Like Indian governance, for example, traffic, definitely a bugbear for him.
Yeah.
Elitism, he's actually quite a leftist. Something goes with his whole leftist side, and above all, this friggin' basketball shit. 5 overgrown giants playing with a leather ball. Hell, what's wrong with these people? This is what you do with your life? You run after a ball wearing a ganji, and you're the first world country?
They wear t-shirts now.
They
A
wear
lot of them. I mean, they have 4 uniforms now. So
Yeah, because
one of
the
those is
damn
a
thing
t-shirt
about that
uniform.
super successful
started it
venture,
again,
man, you know what really
Cyrus.
gets my goat is that everything they've done has worked in that stupid NBA. If you should just forget the sport, look at it from a marketing point of view, and the IPL copies a lot from NFL and NBA, and honestly, so does the EPL. Everybody takes from American sport and marketing of American sport. And you don't have to like the sport, just look at the way they market it.
Well, they market it brilliantly.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Listen, I can watch every single NBA game right now for 500 rupees a month during season, right? And that is just something that is kind of no other sport
I
offers
hope
you
that
that kind of
changes.
this.
It's ridiculous that the high quality sport in their country is 50 times that much. I wish you could outsource it back.
Well,
The money
so
you'd
people
make.
do that, right? So I mean, like, there are a lot of people who buy memberships from India and then they use a VPN so that they're accessing the site from India and doing
So
stuff like
NBA
that.
officials, if you're listening, catch them now.
They know this.
Amit is running a black market here. Demonetization has made us look outside the box, to use a pun here, because it's the box we're talking about. And boom, you've cracked it.
Yeah.
But
Huge
you know
money
what?
to be
I
made.
have a Khushbu's thing about your energy levels.
Yeah.
I think you die out by like 6 o'clock in the evening.
Oh,
though.
three.
Oh, yeah, he's done.
3
o'clock.
4 o'clock, 3, 4 is
You're done,
He's
no?
done.
I know
The
it.
second his shoot is done,
The moment
he
I
is
reach
finished.
home and I'm just, I can't take my pants off. And believe me, nobody else wants to. So that's it.
Yes, but I mean, like but he starts at like 5:36 in the
Yeah, but
morning
also
too,
I'm
right?
an on-off person. I have, if you want to know, without sounding, arrogant, I've spoken to a psychiatrist on that Love Line show we used to do on MTV, and it's the same girl would come back. So we'd speak, and then she'd get to know your personality. You've got to spend time with these people, then they can deduce you.
No, but you're right. You are on and off.
I'm
right?
an extreme. You're an
remember
extreme personality.
When
You're on
we
off.
went for that event thing, right?
Yeah.
Before that, you were so chilled out during the entire thing.
Yeah,
Then the
come on,
second it
yeah.
came on, I was like, bang, 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 bang. All energy started.
It's just like it's on off. That's it. And the same thing with alcohol. So I drink a lot, or I can't drink at all. But so the good thing is that you can go to the other end.
yeah.
Yeah. Now let's talk about sex.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Okay, so how do you deal with someone when you're angry at them but don't remember why?
But that's like a health issue, man. What do you mean you don't remember why?
Yeah.
Oh,
Right now, I'm really
if
upset.
I would not be angry with them if I couldn't remember why.
I'm really
Yeah, exactly. I don't
It's
think I'd be
that
angry with
simple.
somebody.
I now
for-
sound like a middle-class housewife because my anger really is towards staff now. I started to realize you send
Towards
loans
staff.
to a lot of people. Want to be altruistic, want to do
Right.
the right thing, want to help people in life. Honestly, don't want to exploit people. But after some time, I realized that in India, you just look as a bakra of sorts, like
Yeah.
weakness. There's no altruism in India.
no,
You're
you're
either
right.
weak or strong. You're top dog or bottom dog. So what happens is people who are under you in the economic strata, they use you and they're not happy that you're trying to help them. They're actually thinking you're a weak
What
victim
more
and
can
what
I
more
get
can we
now?
get?
Yeah.
So I've decided, the
That's a
famous line from
really
Hamlet.
sad
It
way
is
of looking
cynical.
at
It's
everything.
Neither a
cynical,
borrower
but-
nor
Oh, God.
lender beef or loan off loses both himself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry applies to us. Don't loan or borrow. Just give when you feel like. Don't expect anything back. I think that's the bottom line.
I
with,
think
with our culture.
I would agree with that
Yeah, it
to a
doesn't
great
work.
degree because it's tough, man. Giving people, you know what though? It's not. It's just. So I hate lending money, period, or borrowing money, period. Right? I mean, like, so I have some guys who I know who I've lent money to.
Yeah.
And they, I'm not like rich or like at all, right? I mean, like I run a struggling startup
But
which
that's not the
doesn't
point.
get any kind of
We're talking
advertising.
about the ethics of
But-
paying back your loan. It's not about how much money the other guy has.
So
It's
what
ridiculous.
annoys me really is that I've lent money to somebody and it's and then I see him driving around in a new car. That pisses me off to no extent, right? I'm like, just what the I mean, like that's just not. And I feel like that the way that people look at debt in India, right, is just like, okay, it's in.
Yeah.
I have it. Now
That's
when
it.
I have it, I'll give it back. But I have it.
Just get to it. Don't think of the other plan.
Yeah,
And I
so
think you start.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a social strata thing. I think it's an Indian culture thing.
Perhaps. And also
But
you
that's so
start
weird.
with money and then you
in
start.
my head, if I have whether I've borrowed money or see, when I lend money, I can't even think about when I'm going to get it back.
Just don't say
But
lend.
when you-
Do what you know. What I have
No,
this problem.
if you're
Give money. If you're feeling altruistic, give
Just
money,
give it.
and that's it. You just write it off.
see, if I've borrowed money, I cannot wait to give it back.
Yeah.
I
Same here.
cannot
Yeah.
wait to just be like, here, I
done.
don't want this debt
Yeah,
on my
I'm done.
head. I'm done now.
And I'm thinking, where will it end? Will you start borrowing relatives? Really?
Yeah,
It's just money.
yeah.
Look at all the issues.
What
out
was
there.
the question? I don't think it had anything to do with
God
loans.
knows.
The question was, how do you deal with someone when you're angry at them? Don't remember why.
Well, I think I do remember why I'm angry at these particular people.
No, but I don't. Like, if I'm angry with you, there is a reason.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
just
The real
get
chauvinistic
angry.
amongst us, I remember the elder male relative saying periods. Like the person is crazy, there's a physiological reason. But what about the men? What's our physiological reason?
Nah, it's just this
Men are just...
Erection.
No, but
Not erection. He's not well now.
no, but I think this is what I mean. Like, I think you're right about that. Just don't borrow money, don't lend money. I mean, like, it's just
So
like.
if you have foreign friends or cousins or whatever coming down here, and they're like, "Why don't you give money to the beggar?" Okay, so my whole thing is we started giving biscuits and food.
Yeah,
and all
that's what.
They started rejecting it now.
They don't want it.
Young kids at Teenpati, where we live, where Amit and I live, they didn't know paisa. They actually told me that just in November of last year.
No.
I looked at my wife and I was like, "Excuse me, what are you going to order Thai now from us?
Yeah,
Let's not overdo this whole thing. I'm not NGO. I'm not Jesus. I'm giving you biscuits. That's all I feel like doing. I don't see why I should do that."
Wow, they're not taking the biscuits
people,
anymore.
it does become a thing, right? I mean, like, and because more and more people are doing this, right? People know about these begging mafias and stuff like that. You start reading about
in the
this
hierarchy
stuff.
of the begging mafia, the small guy gets beaten up with the big guy and gets taken.
I know, I've seen it.
So we go
It's
for things like
awful.
biscuits. They don't want it. What else?
They get beat up with why they give biscuits. They need money to give these.
Look, if they're making more money than me, then I got to switch because this is ridiculous. I'd rather do the begging. All right, that's all we have time for on Cock and Bull. And we'd like to change the name of our show. So if you'd like to write in and give us suggestions, because the sponsors are getting a little worried to come in the moment we say it's all about Cock and Bull. Oh, by the way, you can now listen to Cyrus Says on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Beyond Pod, any of the podcasting apps. So do that as quickly as possible. If you have any questions, write to us online or on mail. And of course, we'll get back to you. We don't just say that. We actually do because we have 30 unemployed people. And please follow me on Board Brocha on Twitter. Every extra person means more money for my children.
If you admire Cyrus's bosoms just like we do, follow Cyrus Says on Facebook and Twitter. And that's what Cyrus says.
All right, if you've listened to the show called Cyrus Says and you want your money back, let me tell you, that can't be done right now. But we can make you feel better if you listen to Made in India. That's M-A-E-D, Made in India, with May. There's no D in May. Although, maybe one day.
Our podcasts bring all the boys to the yard, and damn right, they're better than yours. But you don't need to stand outside in the yard. Just follow IVM Podcasts on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We might be on Tinder too. Just go ahead and swipe right.